Well, after being red hot in Milwaukee and scoring 15 runs in consecutive games, the Yankees have gone to Baltimore and scored 2 runs in 2 games, both of them last night. It's like John Sterling always says, you can't predict baseball, Furio.
Stupid fucking game.
Hi, my name is Clarence, and I'm a big-time Yankee fan. But I am so tired of you guys defending Aaron Judge. He sucks. Soto is the heart and soul of the team. I'm tired of everybody saying that it's still early. We are like 20 or 30 games into the season. Matter of fact, Judge got the bank. Judge don't care no more. He sucks. Thank you for listening to my comment.
Fucking internet.
Hey, my name is David. First of all, I want to say, Derek, you do such a great job. Everything you produce, so thank you for all your hard work. I just wanted to comment upon this lineup. I think we've all seen it over the past couple of years. You sort of mentioned it on last night's recap. Stanton, again, at this point, and I like him, I can root for him, but he doesn't bring a lot to the table. Too many strikeouts, doesn't bring defensive availability or any kind of athleticism on the base pads. So we really got to move on, especially when Dominguez comes back.
You know, power is the last thing to go, and that doesn't just include baseball players. I mean, you think about, like, boxing. Mike Tyson at the end of his career, and he's going to be fighting again pretty soon. That's unbelievable to me. But at the end of his career, he could still knock you out. He still had massive power, but there was about a 1 in 3 chance that he would either get disqualified or kick somebody in the balls or bite somebody, or that he would just straight up lose. And Giancarlo's at that point in his career. He's either going to strike out or hit a ground ball and have a weak jog down to first base, trying not to snap his hamstrings, or he's going to hit the ball 465 feet and everybody in the ballpark is going to be blown away by it. But in terms of sheer baseball ability, yeah, his career is pretty much done. He doesn't play the outfield. He hasn't played the outfield yet this season. He can't run the bases. I mean, maybe he can throw. I don't know. We never see him. Maybe he can be our emergency pitcher.
This is Frank, Irvine, California. Not bad-mouthing or ranting on Judge, but we see it a lot, post-big contract letdowns. I mean, he did this contract year well, unlike Rizzo and Glaber are doing right now, but hopefully Verdugo and Soto will continue to do well. But, yeah, too many double plays. For God's sake, Judge has more double plays than some teams. Anyway, keep up the great work.
Sure, through the annals of baseball history, there have been plenty of players who've gotten big contracts and haven't done much with it. I like to use the old after it, therefore, because of it fallacy. A lot of times these contracts are signed when the guy's already been through his prime years, you know, maybe 30 years old, like Aaron Judge was, and age naturally kicks in and you start to decline. Now, this happens after they get the contract because that's how time works and age works, but it doesn't necessarily mean it's because of the contract. It's not like, I think, you know, Aaron Judge got a contract and decided to lay on the couch and eat Doritos. Last year, he was on a 60 home run pace through the first 2 months of the season, again, and then he injured his toe severely. He worked to come back. Instead, he could have had the surgery and taken the whole year off and not had to come back and play through pain. He could have done that. He decided to come back, and guess what? He was on the same home run pace when he came back, and he had 2-3 home run games. And last year's team was shitty. He could have easily mailed it in, and he would have had an excuse at least. I really think that there's 2 things going on with Aaron Judge. He's mechanically trying to find it, because he didn't find it in spring training, because he didn't get a spring training. And yes, it's been a month, but we saw last year with Carlos Rodon how much guys need spring training. He never found it. Months into the season, he pitched 3 months and never found it. Aaron Judge, I think, will find it because it's easier as a position player. You play every day, and when the weather heats up, and we've seen signs, by the way, 3 home runs in the previous 7 games before Baltimore. So I think he will find it, but I reject the idea emphatically that he's mailing it in or doesn't care. You can see the frustration on his face when he hits into a double play or strikes out. He cares. To me, it's the opposite. He might care too much. And so, yes, I'm going to defend him and die on this hill if I have to. Aaron Judge wants to win. He cares a lot. He's just struggling. He might be playing through an injury. That's entirely possible. We can't feel what's in his body or get inside his mind. But I reject on its face the idea that he doesn't care.
Hey, Derek. This is Mark Stenroos out in beautiful Southern California. Loving the show. Hey, I've got an idea. How about we put Soto in the leadoff spot? He's getting on base. He either walks or gets a hit or sometimes he gets a home run. Put Judge up in second where he used to play. Move Verdugo up to third. Let Rizzo bat cleanup. And then shuffle the other guys at the end of the lineup there. You know, I'm a big Volpe fan, but he's just not producing right now in that leadoff spot. And Soto's the one guy who could spark that team on. So that's my idea. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I've seen that idea thrown out there a few times, and I've kind of pondered it myself. I mean, when things aren't working, you want to do whatever you can to get them going, right? But he's the one guy that's hitting. And so by taking him out of the number 2 hole, you know, you're fixing something that isn't broken with him, right? And so what if he doesn't do well in the number 1 spot? Well, then, you know, nobody's hitting. So it's damned if you do, damned if you don't kind of scenario.
Hi, Derek. Simon Rosenthal calling from Bella Vista in New Haven, Connecticut. How you doing? Well, I'm telling you, I don't know what's going on with these Yankee bets. I think they keep them in the freezer or something. And this hitting coach, I mean, ground out, double play. I mean, what are we, a ping pong team?
I'll say this for you, Simon. You make me laugh. I don't think the hitting coach is going anywhere at this point. He's only been on the job for a month. And last year, the Yankees got rid of their hitting coach halfway through the season. That's something they've only done in season once in like the last 30 years or something like that. So I'm not counting on it happening again. But, yeah, something's got to happen. We got to figure out why this team continues to be so bipolar offensively. In Milwaukee, they looked unbelievable. Now, they weren't facing great pitchers, but, you know, Dean Kramer isn't exactly Cy Young either. And today they face Corbin Burns, and they might go off against Corbin Burns. I don't know. So I guess we'll see after the game. A couple more voicemails.
One of the big things I've noticed in the last 2 games is we're not manufacturing runs anymore. You saw Baltimore take advantage of one bad inning by Nestor and just manufacture, 3 runs right out the gate, and it managed to hold the whole game.
That's an excellent point. It's hard to manufacture runs when you're trailing, though, especially when you're down by a few runs, because you really want to put up a crooked number, and you don't want to trade outs at that point. But I agree with you. The team has had several opportunities to bunt or hit and run or steal bags or whatever, and it does seem like they're kind of sitting back and waiting for the long ball. And yesterday they got a couple of home runs, but nobody on base for either one of them. So that's obviously a concern.
Derek, what the hell is going on? Stanton in the 9th, when he struck out, as usual, he looked like he didn't even give a damn.
Look, Stanton cares too. I think all of these guys care. I just think that Stanton can't hit a slider anymore. I think he's got absolutely no chance against a good slider, and that's a problem. And it's been a problem for years. It was a problem before the Yankees acquired him. And Stanton has had some great moments with the Yankees, but I think overall that trade has got to be considered one of Brian Cashman's worst at this point.
Hey, this is Lucas from Philadelphia. Another tough loss tonight. Though honestly, it doesn't feel that bad. I mean, just looking at such a beautiful stadium out there in Baltimore, it's hard to get mad while you're watching the game.
Not hard for me.
Gotta call it like I see it. This team, unfortunately, seems to be far too on the side of feast or famine.
Feast or famine is a good way to describe it, and it's been like that for years, if we're being honest with each other. And the question to me is, how do we fix it? And to me, there's a few different things that need to happen. One, we need more consistency out of the top of the lineup. We need Volpe to be an on-base machine. And he was great coming out of the gate this season. Just fantastic in the 7-hole. They move him up, and he has not been the same hitter hitting leadoff. So it might be time to move him back down. We need someone in the middle of the order to be dangerous. Right now, the middle of the order isn't getting it done. Juan Soto's getting on base. Aaron Judge is not driving him in. Rizzo has had some big games, but he's kind of feast or famine himself. Giancarlo Stanton crushes the terrible pitchers, but doesn't do much when you put anybody with a slider up there. So there's a few things that need to be fixed.
Hey, Derek, I'm calling from Baltimore after tonight's game, and I'm as passionate Dynamo Oriole fan as you're a Yankee fan. But I thoroughly agree with the disgusting way the Yankee fans are treating Judge. This guy did so much for you guys. He's going through a tough spell, and I'm glad you called out the Yankee fans because Aaron Judge doesn't deserve this kind of stuff coming out of their mouths. But again, I'd like to tell you I respect you. You're as much a Yankee fan as I am an Oriole fan. My name is Till, and I can't tell you to hang in there because I'm going to crush you guys as much as I can.
Yes! Yes! Fuck you too!